Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Monday. My Monday's been pretty hot, but I'm hoping that either today or tomorrow is going to be the last 90 plus day of the year. And I figured it would be a good idea to celebrate the end of the heat with a fruity beer. But we're not drinking any fruity beer today. This is something I've been wanting to try for at least a year now. Like even before I was doing beer reviews, I've wanted to try this. From one of my favorite breweries, we have Delirium Red. Normal Delirium is called Delirium Tremens. That's their flagship beer, and it's just a basic Belgian ale, which is very, very good. But I've never had the red. It's got cherry and elderberry in it. This is brewed in Belgium by the brewery Huyge. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I literally looked up how to pronounce it like a minute ago. It's Huyge, Huyge, I think. Now, one thing I love about the Delirium bottles is they're not actually ceramic. It's just got this painted coating on it that looks like ceramic, but I still think it's really cool. And I imagine it does have some effect on the flavor of the beer because I know that clear bottles allow more sunlight into the beer and they get skunkier, and that's why a lot of Mexican beers have that skunky flavor. It's because they usually have a clear bottle. Now, I imagine there's almost no sunlight getting to this, so I don't expect it to be skunky at all, but I wouldn't expect it to be skunky in the first place. I'm just sharing a fun fact. But can't see the bottle cap. It's foiled up, and that's actually something I'm not fond of because foil's kind of bad for the environment, and I know I'm kind of a hippie for saying that, but they could do without it. And I would love to scrape this foil off so I can keep the bottle cap because unfortunately Delirium doesn't have any cute bottle caps with the little elephant on it. You know, that would absolutely make my day if I could get one of those. I'd pin it to my shirt or something. I think I just scraped a little bit off and it looks like it's just red, which is kind of lame, so maybe I'll leave the pink on, but probably not. Get this little seal broken. Got the antler. Handy dandy antler. Now this beer, this is probably my first fruit beer. At least the first one I can remember. It's 8%. Like I said, cherry and elderberry is what it says on the bottle, but I think we can expect a little bit more. Now, I have tasted a sour once before. I was not a fan. It just tasted like bad wine, and all my friends agreed. It just tasted like bad red wine. But I'm hoping that this won't be so bad, and I have high hopes because it's a Delirium beer, but we'll have to see. Of course, since it's Delirium, I have my Delirium Noel glass, which I'm very fond of, even though it's Christmassy. I don't like to whip it out all the time, but it's cool. Now, this is pretty dark, surprisingly. I was expecting it to be more vibrant, but it kind of like Hawaiian Punch. But it makes sense that if it's organic or not full of artificial shit, it wouldn't be an artificial color. It's a little surprising, but it's kind of like a red ale, but not so orange and a lot cloudier. And I didn't pour very aggressively, but we have a little bit of a pink head on there. It is dissipating very quickly. Wow. Very cherry. I know I said there's probably not anything artificial. Let's see. But it smells like artificial cherry. It almost smells like cough medicine. Brewed and bottled in Belgium. I don't know what elderberry tastes like. If there's any elderberry in here, I'm not picking it up so far. But very cherry. Almost like soda. Really sweet, but it's got this hint to it. I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of the doctor's office. If you've been to the doctor in the last 3 years, you should know what I'm talking about, like that. Almost like a sanitized smell. It's not bad. Yeah, cherry. Smells like artificial cherry. Let's go. Oh my god. I know it's a fruit beer, And like I was expecting it to be fruity because it's a fruit beer, but like holy shit. Like that kind of punched me in the face. It does have some of that wine kind of bitterness, and like the notes at the end are kind of reminiscent of red wine. But I don't think there's any grapes in it. Like I said, it just said cherry and elderberry. Yeah, it almost tastes a little like cough medicine. Just like really cherry and alcohol, I guess. That's basically what cough medicine is anyways, isn't it? It's just alcohol with cherries in it. At least it's not grape. That'd be kind of off-putting if it tasted like artificial grape, but still, it's a little weird. I haven't decided how I feel about it yet. It is really smooth though. It's really light, really easy to drink. Not very bitter. A little tart, like a fruity kind of tartness, but it's not bitter. There's no way there's any hops in this beer, and if they put hops in this beer, they would absolutely ruin it. Because I did my research, and a lot of people said it's supposed to be like a dessert beer, and I get that because it's sweet, and it should be sweet if it is a dessert beer. That smell though is ridiculous. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, gosh, that kind of tastes like cough medicine. Like I said, I didn't mind it at first, but that sip right there was a little rough. Just for the record, I wasn't totally expecting to like this because I don't like IPAs, and those have a tendency to be fruity. So I figured if this was fruity, I wouldn't like it that much either. Excuse me. Especially because I like dark beer, and I like not fruity beer. I didn't have super high hopes for this, but so far I'm glad I only bought a single one of them. This shit's expensive too. It's like $20 for a 4-pack or something like that. It is 8%, but Delirium, probably partially because it's imported, but also because it's just really good quality beer. Delirium's always expensive. Like the regular Delirium Tremens is usually like $20 for a 4-pack too. Yeah, if you like cough medicine, like I remember when my brother was little, he like thought he was sick kind of often. He would get like he'd like sneeze once and he'd be like, "Oh, I have a cold." And so he'd always been like, "Hey, can I get some medicine? Can I get some medicine?" And my parents always thought he was asking because he liked the taste of it, and they're like, "Dude, this isn't candy." And then eventually we figured out that he just thought he was sick all the time. But if you're like him and you like the taste of like cherry cough syrup, this is for you. If you're like me, I'm not at all glad I'm trying this, but well, I don't even know if you can call this beer. Like, I don't know all the rules for what makes beer and what doesn't. Oh, you can see the color a lot better now. You see how it's just like a really cloudy red. It almost looks like a Bloody Mary, but not so red. Really cool color. Yeah, I don't know the rules of what classifies a beer as a beer, but in my opinion, it's got to be like wheat based or like something like that. And this is definitely like a semi-carbonated alcoholic drink that's like brewed and not like shit out of a machine like White Claws are. Probably. Like how else do they make a fucking White Claw? There's no way that shit's not like processed. But I don't even know if this counts as a beer. It's more like, I've never had mead, but I imagine this is what mead tastes like. I could see some peasant sitting in a tavern drinking some of this.
Wonder if Elod is still making that mead with
Elderberries.
But it's probably too fruity for a peasant. They'd be like, oh, what's this? Cherry juice you gave me some grog. I'd like to try mead one day, actually. I know it's really hard to get, and I probably wouldn't like it, but I'd like to be able to say that I've had mead. That was weird. If you like fruit beer and you like that kind of cherry taste, this is for you. If you don't like fruit beer, you don't like that cherry taste, don't get it. That's all I have to say. If you like fruit beer, but you don't want to spend like, this one by itself, if I had to guess off the top of my head, was probably like $3. At least like $3. If you don't want to spend $3 on a beer, don't buy this. I love the brand, like I said, so I don't mind paying that money for a Delirium Tremens every once in a while. So that specifically isn't really the problem here for me. But the flavor, I'd give it like a 5, I guess. I'm probably never going to buy it again. But I'm glad I tried it. Like I said, I wanted to support the brand. I'm a fan of the Tremens, like I've said 100 times. So I felt obligated to try this. I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. But not something I'd get again. 5 out of 10. I think that's fair. I think that's all I got for this one. If you enjoyed my video, please leave a like. If you have any ideas for some other beers you want me to try, please leave me a comment and let me know. Hope you have a great Monday and a great rest of your week.